What happens if you're doing an emergency project and half of the tree is on the house, but half of it is still standing? What do you do then? That's a question that comes up so often in storm work, because when storms rip through, there's no science to it really. The tree just breaks wherever it breaks, and it really all depends on how the tree grew, the form, and the size of it. There's so many different factors. But anyways, you're gonna have hangers and you're gonna have parts of trees still standing up. What do you do, and will the insurance pay for that standing portion? If you go ahead and ask them for that over the phone and ask, hey, are you going to pay for the standing portion of the tree? You're going to get a resounding no. But here's what you have to do in order to build the argument. The first thing is you're going to want to see and document, is this a hazard that I can subject my crew to when working underneath of it? Here's what I mean by that. As an employer, you are responsible to maintain a safe work environment for your employees. It's something called the OSHA General Duty Clause. Look it up and you'll be able to see there more on what it actually means, what it says. But bottom line is that it says you have to maintain a safe work environment, as safe as possible, which is pretty difficult to do in emergency situations. That would be the first lever to pull. The second one would be what's called ANSI Z133. Those are the industry safety standards that really govern most of the tree industry. I would say there's a lot in there about safety, about crane safety, lift safety, and other things that you would want to pay attention to. And one of those things is overhead hazards and risks. You need to make sure that you mitigate those before you take care of the immediate hazard on the house. So with those two levers, you have a very strong argument to say that I need to maintain a safe and compliant job site. And don't swipe yet, because there is one more argument that you can make. But just to stick on those two for a second, those are very important, because insurance company can't argue with you as the service professional about how to do your job. They can argue policy all they want. That's not our job. Our job is to take the tree off the house. So if we're telling them with reasoning and documentation that it wasn't able to be done safely, then that puts them in a position where they need to pay for it. And if they don't, that creates another question about integrity. The third argument is going to be if you have minimums. Some people have 4 and 8 hour minimums. If you're within your minimum, then you're charging the same amount whether you do it or not. So if it creates less friction to do so, then that creates a big argument too, to say it would have cost the same amount if I did or didn't do it because it fell under my minimum. So with those three things, those are 3 levers you can pull to defeat that argument, because it's honestly a silly argument to say that you're going to leave a standing hazardous tree as part of a tree removal. The end of that video got cut off, but follow for more. Check out billingsidekick.com, and I'll see you on the next one.